I'm starting a new series where I debunk some of John Paul Miller's lies. Yes, it's only going to be some of them because I don't have the time nor the gumption to debunk all of them. Let's start with this fun story. You know how John Paul Miller always insists that he isn't on social media? In the Flow interview on TikTok, JP said, quote, "I don't look at the news. I don't watch YouTube. If I ever see anything, it's because somebody sends me a clip or a picture or something," end quote. In the extended version of John Paul's interview with Rich McHugh on News Nation, that JP insisted True Crime Re put out there so everyone could hear the entire 2-hour interview, part of it went like this. John Paul: "True Crime Re is someone I trust on TikTok and, Rich McHugh. And that's not you, by the way." John Paul: "No, yes. I don't have social media. Everybody thinks there's these different social medias of me everywhere. I don't have it. I don't have Facebook. I don't have the Talk. I don't have the Instagram or whatever other ones there are. I don't have them." He also had this to say: "I've never seen The Fisherman. I've never heard of the like, heard him speak. I don't know anything about him at all. I don't look at online. I don't watch the stuff online to know anything." John Paul mentioned social media 11 times in that interview with Rich McHugh. It seems he wants to talk about social media a lot for someone who claims they aren't on it. As an aside, he mentioned Mica's family 55 times in the interview. So obsessive. On February 23, 2024, John Paul filed for an order of separation from Mica Franics. In that order, he requested the following be granted: an order restraining the parties from making social media posts about the other party, any current paramour or spouse, and about any legal actions pending that involve the parties on any site owned, controlled, or edited by either party. An order restraining the parties from accessing the other's social media sites or from use of the other party's social media identity. Well, there's JP mentioning social media again. That same social media he is definitely 100% for sure not on. Did you notice who isn't mentioned at the preclusion of who can't be talked about on social media? His children. Don't talk about John Paul. Don't talk about his current paramour or spouse. Don't talk about legal proceedings, but his children? Sure, why not? I think that's very telling. And can John Paul not afford an attorney who can send out any kind of document with correct spelling? He was using Indigo Law Firm at this time, and I'm not sure that they spell any better than Rumpled Russell. Here's an incident report from June 18th of 2024, where a little cream puff John Paul called the police because he was being followed all around town. So Tiny Man can have Mica followed, and it's no prob, Bob. But he just can't deal with it when it happens to him, and he needs the police to come and rescue him. That's not the point of this video, though. The point is that on the report it states, quote, "Responding officer arrived and spoke with victim 1, who stated he has been followed all around town to and from his home and place of work and continuously sees photographs of himself on social media. Victim 1 stated that the post on social media containing his photos or photos of his properties makes him feel unsafe." End quote. John Paul didn't tell the police that someone sent him the photos. He said that he continuously sees photographs of himself on social media. How funny is it that while JP was being followed by whoever was taking his picture, he was probably also being followed by the FBI and didn't even know it? I think we all knew from the beginning that he was lying about the social media thing, but here we have it in black and white where he admits he is on social media. I think he's all over social media and has others, besides his trusted cohort he named earlier, helping him with spreading his lies. I think he's been on Facebook under several names, and I think he's on TikTok. So what's the point of him lying about being on social media? He's admitted to being on it before. He and Mica had a joint account while they were married. I think one reason he would lie about not being on social media is because he's on there saying things he shouldn't. Maybe even saying them in a certain secret Facebook group using the name Betty Stewart. Old Betts also called TikTok the talk, just like JP did. What's funny, and I mean funny, haha, super hilarious, not funny peculiar, if I'm right about JP and Betty Stewart being the same person, Betsy Wetsy admitted to JP slashing Mica's tires. She admitted to JP paying for the service of prostitutes. She admitted he'd had multiple affairs. She admitted he'd sent inappropriate texts to the woman in New Jersey. Betty ratted out John Paul at every turn. I don't think Betty did John Paul any favors. Does that make me sad? No. I'll be back soon with more of John Paul's lies. Until next time, stay safe and be happy.